I thought this was worth noting. Recently I put together a list, a partial bill of particulars, if you will, against the American Democratic Party. A bill of particulars that I believe the next Republican nominee for president needs to address during the 2024 campaign for the American presidency. This is Dr. Avenir. Is Dr. Avenir. It's a bill of particulars primarily directed at the Democratic Party because that party caused or exacerbated them all. But it outlines real salvos that, 1, can be leveled against the Democratic Party as a howitzer might do leveling, and 2, that can serve as focal points for real policy proposals to counter Democrat rhetoric and reflexively race-baiting propaganda, and 3, can get a Republican elected to the Oval Office. And finally, 4, these could get real, meaningful policy solutions that actually might be the means to resolve the issues that this particular bill of particulars outlines. However, it's not complete. Can you all add in the things that I've omitted? Let's start from the beginning of my list. The Democrats have destroyed the Black American family. The Democrats have declared that killing unborn babies is a sacred right. The Democrats have destroyed American culture and over the years have impoverished hundreds of millions of people, particularly Black Americans. The Democrats support the indoctrination of our young people in CRT, critical race theory, a race-baiting doctrine guaranteed to exacerbate racial tensions. The Democrats support grotesque DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, initiatives guaranteed to poison Americans' interactions with their fellow citizens in all areas of life. The Democrats have been quietly pushing CEI, or Corporate Equality Index, scores on American corporations, ensuring that these businesses will support radical trans and other perverse leftist policies. This has resulted in the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light fiasco, as well as many other idiocies that have flown under the radar. The Democrats support ESG guidelines for American businesses, guaranteeing that these same businesses will support leftist policies as it pertains to environmentalist pseudoscience, gender ideology, and other leftist hogwash. Democrat policies have resulted in violent death for tens of thousands of young Black American men and women in the cities. In so doing, the Democrats have poisoned race relations in America, an inexcusable crime. Democrats support the notion of carving up your young girls and castrating your young boys, all in the name of, quote, gender-affirming care, end quote. A more grotesque thing would be hard to imagine. A very short while ago, our nation was recoiling in horror when we found out that the likes of Yosef Mengele were doing this very same kind of thing. Democrats have either caused or exacerbated the inflation that is crushing all Americans. Next, for decades, Democrats have been causing healthcare prices and college tuition to spike out of the reach of the average American without his or her going into debt for decades. And Democrats have done all they can to pit race against race, young against old, man against woman, child against parent, class against class, healthy against sick, sane against unbalanced, and more. Obama-Biden, along with Hillary, gave the Crimea and the Middle East to Vladimir Putin's Russia, setting the stage for today's Russia-Ukraine war. And China has a free hand in the Pacific because of Biden's neglect and lack of vision. Next, Russia invaded Ukraine because Putin saw clearly that the White House is all but vacant. The White House is certainly leaderless. And the Chinese and the BRICS group are actively trying to replace the American dollar as the world's currency, and it's working. Next, the civilized world and much of the uncivilized world, like China and Russia, are in demographic freefall, which will cause incredible tensions around the world, and all of that is either here, right now, or on the immediate horizon. The left and its political wing, the Democratic Party, have irrevocably corrupted American education, dooming millions of college graduates to substandard jobs because they will have substandard skills. This all was sold to young Americans as, quote, higher education, end quote. And the left have irrevocably polluted the entire vast American communications apparatus. causing it to become little more than a fully captive propaganda machine for the left. By this I mean the media, social media, Hollywood, academia, and nearly all of pop culture. All of these institutions can now be relied upon to be mere toadies of the American left and to suppress dissenting voices here in America, the land of the First Amendment. Incredible, inexcusable. There are many more, but that's good enough for now. Can you add to this list of crimes of which the American left and the Democratic Party are guilty?